Hey, we're back. Three Chords and the Truth, episode 20-something. Sebastian, what is this? 20?
20 on the dot.
20 on the dot. Hey, I was pretty close for a change. That's unusual. Hey, I'm Pete Kramer from Pete Kramer and the Eastwood Project. Alex Nobles, again, is doing his fire department thing, and we salute him for that. We miss him, but, he's got to do what he's got to do because guy walks into burning buildings, and it takes a lot to be able to do something like that. And as a reminder, his band is Buffalo's rock and country band, The Noblemen, and they're starting to play out a little bit more. So if you can catch them, I know that they're playing a bunch of times at the stage coming up. So just check out, I think it's the Nobleman Buffalo.com. You can find out what they got going on. As usual, we've got Sebastian DeJesus, the host of 42 North, 78 West Sports Show over there at Master Control. He's running all the boards. If you saw last week's show, you were able to see him for a change instead of just my ugly yap. And you got to see a good-looking kid for a change. But he showed us how he runs all those boards and everything, how he makes this show work. As always, I like to say things for my friends at Special Spaces. They do amazing things for little kids that have cancer. They do bedroom makeovers for them. And, if you check them out, if you like a local charity that you'd like to donate to, they're certainly worthy of it. As always, please leave us a comment if you want to. You can ask questions live, and we can field them as we're doing the show. Subscribe to the page. And with all that being said, we're fortunate enough to have back with us Michael Trig Lehman and Vicky DeVoe from Red Rain, who were first here with us back in January when things were not so cool with the live music business. And now things are getting back to normal. Hey, guys, how are you?
Great. We're good, Pete. I'm good.
How are you,
Vicky?
I'm good.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you
Good to
too.
be here with you. Yeah.
So where you guys been playing?
You tell.
Well, we actually just had our, I guess, what do you call it, a reemergence this weekend, and we played Rockin' Buffalo in West Seneca, and then we played
Oh, on Union Road.
on Union Road,
Yep.
and we played out in the North Towns in Niagara Falls. We played Neighborhood Bar and Grill. So
How was the reception from the crowd?
Rockin' Buffalo was off the hook. It was.
I can imagine.
Here's the weird thing. The band's been together since, and I think we talked about this last time. We've been together since 2018.
Okay.
And 2019 was the year that we really started to get rolling.
Okay.
And then we did the the Canal Fest, which was tremendous for us. And then we did the award show at the Cove last January 2020.
Yep.
And we just exploded there. It was fabulous. We had great reception from the crowd. People were starting to know who we were. And then the COVID, and we were just stopped in our tracks like everyone was.
Right.
But it's tougher when you're a band that's trying to get some momentum going, have people know who you are. But the response returning was like nothing. It surpassed our wildest dreams. I mean, the place was packed. They certainly had I would say it was the allowable group of a number of people that are there right now. I think we're at 100% now. I think.
Yeah, restrictions
are all lifted. So they were at whatever capacity it was. I think it was at 100. So people had a great time.
Nice.
They loved the band. We had applause. Our keyboard player Eric even mentioned, he says, "Oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting applause like that after some of those songs." And of course, Joe Tall does the audio and lights there, and he does a phenomenal job. I mean, he's a consummate pro. He's been doing this all his life and touring with name bands, Van Halen and things like that. And he knows what he's doing.
Oh, he's in-house.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the in-house sound and lights person. He's much a performer really as the bands are.
Interesting.
And it was a great response, and it felt so good.
I can imagine.
To be up on that stage, not only with Vicky and Ed and Robert and Eric, but just to play for people again, just to have the freedom of being up there and sing and
I'm
great.
sure the people felt the same way about being able to be there to see you guys. I would have to imagine.
Yeah, we've heard from a lot of people that have been going out and seeing a lot of bands that are playing, are back. So a lot of bands have been back long before we were, just this last week. But yeah, everybody's just, it's so good to be out, to be able to have the freedom to sit and watch a band. And now, of course, I mean, I've seen some people up dancing in some places. I don't believe there's any restriction on dancing anymore. I haven't heard that there is.
There should never have been, but that's
no.
another story. But
Yeah, you're right.
I don't want to go into that, but
yeah, there never should have been. I think that was foolishness, but there's a lot of arbitrary rules that were thrown out around that made no sense, and everybody knows that. But I understand that the intention to protect people was there, but I kind of equate it to people that are panicking and they really don't know what exactly to do.
Oh, sure.
So they decide, you know what, we'll throw the whole shopping bag at them, and we'll let it all settle when it's over and done. But I was very, very happy to take the masks off and be able to sing again and be up there on the stage. And I know Vicky was, and Ed and Robert and Eric.
Well, it was funny because I had not been out in a very long time because there was no place to go.
Yeah.
And nobody to see, but I saw that Chris Squire was playing at this new place on Bloomington's or Bloomingdale's or something like that on Broadway in Lancaster. And I went in there, and it was just so bizarre to me. I was glad to be able to go out and see somebody, and certainly Chris is one of my favorite people to go see. But I got out of my car. I had to put my mask on to walk in 12 feet and sit at the bar to take my mask off. There was one partition next to me. Then the entire bar was completely open. I ordered a glass of wine, and the girl gives me a menu. I said, no, that's okay. I'm not eating. She says, oh, you have to eat if you're going to have a glass of wine. I said, oh, that crap is still going on? And she says, I can give you a 99-cent thing of French fries.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Hey, nutrition's important.
Let's do that. And the only person that got fat off of that was the garbage can, because and I saw 3 other people at the bar at the same thing. They got that, and out it went. But no, to go back to what you were talking about before about the appreciation of the people. I saw Chris Squire was saying the other day that he just did a solo acoustic gig, and he got 2 encores.
Yeah.
I mean, people just dig going out and seeing music and just enjoy the hell out of it.
They're hungry for it. I mean, all the things that were stopped during the I call it the lockdown. Well, I don't call it that. Everybody calls it that. But I mean, I don't call it the pandemic. I mean, I realize this thing was going on, but I just don't feel, and I'm not getting political about it, but I just don't think we were given all the proper information. And I think decisions were made based on what they thought was the information. And I just think some of the information was flawed.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my feeling. That doesn't mean that people didn't legitimately get sick. And we, of course, lost people. And I feel terrible about that. And I'm sorry that it happened.
Yep.
But I just don't think that some of the rules and regulations, like the no dancing, and you have to order food with the drink, and you have to, I'm one of those people that, if you throw an idea at me, okay, I usually look, what's the logic of it?
Right.
And then I can pretty quickly, like I think all of us can. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I get where they're going with it. But boy, for the life of me, I couldn't figure out the French fries and the food thing. It just, I mean, I know I heard their explanation, but I just shook my head and said, that makes no sense to me.
It didn't. There's some, but I mean, everybody, that you hear about the restaurants, you hear about all the different businesses and stuff like that, but you guys are working musicians, right? I mean, you guys are out there every weekend, or were, I should say. And I'm going to say something about Mike first. You've been doing this pretty much all your life, correct?
Since I was 14.
Yeah. So, you've been out there in various bands and stuff. This is just your DNA. Yeah. And all of a sudden have that turned off. I can't even imagine what that did to you as a person.
Should I stand up and show you what it did to me?
No, we don't have to go that far.
Yeah, Michael put on a little bit of weight. And I'm working very hard to get it off. And I've changed my diet and where we walk and things. But
I really didn't mean physically, man. I was just talking about the fact that you couldn't go out and play because that's your persona.
Yeah.
That's who you are. You're used to being on stage in front of people and entertaining. And all of a sudden you couldn't.
Yeah, right. Well, and the only thing that I took any level of comfort in that was the fact of knowing, and not that I was happy it happened to other people, but I wasn't the only one. Everybody in music I knew was stuck at home and they were dying to play. And, musicians would talk to musicians online or on the phone and say, yeah, this is terrible, isn't it? Yeah, it sucks. It's like, I want to get out. We want to play. We want to do. Everybody wanted to. And the audiences, the fans of bands, the people who love to go and see bands as often as they do, they were hungry for it too. They missed it. It's like, if you're a camper and suddenly all the camping places shut down, you can't go camping. If you're a fisherman and you can't fish anymore, what do you do? Well, if you're a person who likes to go out, have a few pops and watch a band and dance and have a good time, and when that's taken away and there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to do but sit at home, watch reruns of a TV show and eat. I mean, that was all there was to do.
And there were a lot of guys, and I know it's difficult for a drummer, right? But there were a lot of guys that I know that just would, fire up a webcam and all of a sudden do a Facebook Live thing and just sit there and play for an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it for little kids. And I was sitting there going, wheels on the bus go round and round, just to give the parents a couple minutes. Here, sit there and watch this idiot play some kids songs for a little bit. I felt like a Barney. But no, the whole thing was just kind of crazy. And are things opening back up, in your opinion, to where things are getting back to some kind of normality?
I think they are. I think they're starting to, but I think there's still a lot, of people who they're so set in their ways of not being able to do stuff that there's still kind of a little bit of pullback, and they don't think it's okay to go out. But I think a lot of what we saw this weekend were people that were dying, ready to, bust out of their skin.
Really?
They were so happy to be like I said, we've played at Rock and Buffalo in West Seneca a few times, and we've gotten some decent crowds and some followers that came out to see us because we were up and coming. But playing there this weekend, we had that place packed, and I really think it was so good for us because we got to be reintroduced to people who might not have seen us another way, and they just wanted to be where there was live music. I mean, I would love to say that every person in that bar came to see us. I'm sure that's not completely the case, but I'm sure they'll be back now that they have seen us.
Sure.
So that was a good feeling, and seeing so many people just with big smiles on their faces and cheering at us, up on stage.
Nice.
And then on the break, total new faces. I'm more of a newbie than the rest of the guys in the band.
I was going to go there next. Yeah.
Having people come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, you rock." And I'm just I'm a school teacher, but thanks. I'm this, my whole other side that nobody does,
Hey, you look more like a rocker than a school teacher, though. I got to tell you that.
Yeah, it's hysterical when I tell people at my day job what I do as my side gig. They're like, "You do what?" I'm like, yeah. Wheel. That's why I laugh when you're Wheels on the Bus. I'm like, I sing that every day, every single day. And one of my really good friends was at the Rock and Buffalo show, and one of the first times she saw me out at a public venue playing, she was my teacher's assistant, and she looked at me and she was like, "All right, you have been holding out on us on the ABCs because you're holding back." I was like, well, I don't want to scare the children, I don't know if they want to rock like I do.
No, but I've seen a lot of the videos and stuff, and you turn into a whole different persona when you get on stage.
Yes.
And that's kind of wild, man. That's and you're so damn good at it. But let's get away from the COVID and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's tell us about the band itself. I mean, you were in New York Rock and Review before that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't even know before that, but I do know that Vicky had never been in a band.
Right.
and she had never sang publicly until Red Rain.
She
Am I right?
She sang in public. Excuse me, it's throat clearing time, folks. Hold on. Vicky actually sang once in another band. She sang in a group one night, and I guess the drummer couldn't make it or couldn't get there, so they had a fill-in drummer at the last second, and they covered it. And she sang one night, and then the group never did anything. I think it was 3 people behind you: drums, bass, guitar.
Drums, bass, guitar. Yep.
And because she told me about it, and so that was it for her at that point. And then she sang with I hope he doesn't mind if I say his name, Dave Putzback.
Mm-hmm.
He is a tattoo artist, Millennium Tattoo in West Seneca. And I'd show you my tattoo, but I got a long sleeve shirt on. And she and Dave do a little duo from time to time. They still do it actually from time to time for some events. But so that was it for her. But this is the first full-time band she's been in repeatedly. And what we did was we were holding auditions, and I had said to her, boy, the throat clearing thing is like getting nasty.
Well, I purposely brought in extra pollen.
Did you?
In case you didn't have enough upstairs, I brought some downstairs for
That
you.
was awfully thoughtful. Thanks.
I would have brought some cottonwood too, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
Grass clippings. You can go out and get a bag of grass clippings. But yeah, we had auditions. We ended up with about 12 how do I say it right? Girls, females, women, ladies. You choose the one that's politically correct for you. Persons, non-binary, they, them,
whatever you identify as.
Yeah. And here, the way it worked was,
It's also silly, isn't it?
it is. I didn't tell the band. I said to Vicky, I said, look, we're holding auditions. I really think you should audition. And I know how that looks. Oh, sure. She goes on auditions. She gets the gig. Well, we all know why. She's your girlfriend. Vicky and I are in a relationship.
Yeah.
Some people may not know that or don't know it or don't care. But we are. And we're very, very happy together. And
you're both very lucky.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
the luck is all on this side of the table, pal. Let me tell you. But anyway, I just suggested to her that she should audition, and she did. And little by little, it was a process of elimination. I didn't tell the band that she and I were in a relationship because I didn't want that to shape their decision.
Of course.
And at the end of it, when it was down to just 2 people, I just said, I'm taking myself out of the voting. And we'll just let the other 3 people in the band vote. And that would be the fair way to do it.
Now, did the other 3 know her as well?
No, they didn't know her. I think maybe one of them kind of knew her a little bit, but they didn't really know that we were together in a relationship. So I prepared her. I said, now, just so you know, they may pick this other person. And if they do, that's the way it goes. You know? But I just think you've got talent to do this. It was unanimous that she was picked, and I had nothing to do with the picking. And it was after she was chosen. I told them, and they were like, what? I said, yeah, because I wanted it to be honest, And so I didn't want it to be a thing where, oh, she only got it because she's your girl. No, she got it. And, it took a little thinking for both of us because, sometimes when you're in a relationship and you're in a band, as a lot of people know, that doesn't go too well sometimes for some people.
Exactly.
I feel we're strong enough with each other, and we don't have any issues with anything. So
it sure seems to work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but she is a rocker chick. Vicky is. She does have a certain style, all her own. When I'm up there playing and I'm behind her and I watch her, she's up there dancing, and the moves that she does, I'm sitting there, I'm in awe. I'm like, how does she know how to do that? Because I'm constantly trying to force myself to smile because I tend to not smile a lot when I'm playing.
Ditto.
And I don't mean to not smile because I'm having a ball up there.
Right.
But I'm so concentrating on 50 different things, lyrics and settings on my pads and these and that and the other thing, and where we're going with the next song, that I tend to forget, oh yeah, hi, we're playing here, But yeah, she's phenomenal, and she was the best decision we made was to have her in this band, and she's more than I'd say I always say that there's five of us and everybody holds up their end of the table.
Right.
Well, she holds up more than one person's side. She really does a great job.
I know you sing. Obviously I know you sing, but who do other guys in the band? They sing as well. I mean, do you have a lead singer, or is it just depend on what song you're playing?
We try not to say that we have a lead singer. I do primarily sing most of the songs, but
we're gonna change that.
But I happen to think it's awesome that we have a lot of talent in the band where yes, I sing lead on a lot of songs. There's songs that Michael sings lead on. There's songs that Ed, our bass player, takes because they're just more his. We kind of have this thing about when we bring songs to the table as to what we're gonna like start building our set list. It's usually whoever brings it. It's kind of like it's their song.
Yeah.
So
whoever brings it sings it.
Cool.
Unless we feel that we're not up to it, and then anybody else who wants a crack at it can have a crack at it.
See, I had guys leave a band that I was in because there was the same thing that you just thought, and the song at that time was Traveling Wilburys.
Handle with Care.
Yes, thank you. And the guy was a phenomenal musician, but he couldn't sing that song. And the rest of the guys in the band wanted me to sing it. And we got to a gig, and I said, no, we're just not going to do that song tonight. And he got really pissed off.
Yeah.
And I consider the guy a friend, even though it was just like a musician that was in a band with.
Right.
But, and I felt bad for him because he quit the band after that because he was so hurt. That he could, but it just, as a friend, I couldn't possibly go up there and play this and let him sing it when the rest of the guys in the band wanted me to sing it.
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself a great vocalist by any stretch of the imagination, but it would have come across a lot better. But
well, it's weird because I mean, this whole business, I saw a comedian one time, I think it might have been George Carlin. He said this whole business really is dig me, you know. It's like there's a bit of an ego attached to it.
Right.
Now, what you do with that ego, how far you let it go,
right?
You know, if you become arrogant, well, then you've let your ego go wild.
Right.
You know, you can have an ego, you can enjoy doing what you're doing, and you can stand out like Vicky does. And we, you know, but you can control the ego. When like, as Vicky mentioned, when we bring songs to the table for the band, sometimes, you know, we'll bring a song in and I'll bring a song in and I'll say, yeah, and I think Vicky should sing it, or this would be perfect for Ed. More often than not, you're bringing it in because you want to sing it, but we're always open for, if I'm straining or I'm not doing the job on it I thought I could do.
Right.
Absolutely. Somebody else give it a shot. And if that's whoever can sing it the best is the person I think that should do it.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, because you don't want to have a poor presentation. You want to have the best presentation.
Well, and the crowd isn't looking at an individual. They're looking at a band.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
I mean, they want the performance from the band.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know if you remember this or not, Mike, but this has got to be at 7 or 8 years ago. I was trying to put together a benefit, probably for Special Spaces, I would assume. And I called you on the phone and we talked, and I remember you saying that I'm not really a vocalist. And I listened to some things of yours on YouTube, and I'm like, the hell's that guy talking about? He's got a great voice. Do you recall that at all? Or?
I do.
Okay.
He still says that all the time, that he's not a vocalist.
I'm going to say it right now. I don't look at myself as a really good vocalist. I mean, I'm not being falsely humble. I don't think I'm that good. And people tell me they like what I do. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm flattered because I don't want to I don't want to hurt things with the band. I don't want to be like, well, everybody's up there good, but boy, that drummer shouldn't sing. You know, I don't want to do that. And then people say, yeah, well, we were going to come and see him next week, but that drummer stinks. And we're not, we're going to go see somebody else. But drumming is my first thing. That's my first love, my first reason for being there. But you know, I can sing, I can hold my own. You know, I enjoy doing what I do, but we just introduced a new song, which I think I shocked her Vicky, because I said, I brought it to the table and I said, you should sing lead on it. She's like, what? And it's a song that a guy sings lead on. It's a Prince song. Let's Go Crazy. We just introduced it. Yeah. And we do a really nice version of it. And, I told her I thought she should sing lead on it because it's just, she has a style.
Yeah.
And so Ed and I sing backup on it and harmonies, and Vicky sings the lead, and she does a fantastic job on it.
Well, if you're comparing drummers, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, and I don't mean any animosity toward one because I'm sure he's not listening to this anyway, but you are more of a Don Henley than you are of Ringo.
I think that's a fair assessment, Pete. I've somebody asked me years ago when I was in another band. In fact, I was in a band called Voyager back in the late 80s, mid 80s, whatever. So long ago, it seems. But kids, this can last a long time. We did an interview for a local Buffalo. I think it was like Buffalo Nightlife magazine. It was at the time. It was a small little magazine, a little thing, and I think Rick Falkowski,
sure,
and his wife ran it at the time. And
he was on our show a couple months ago.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep. And so anyway, we did this interview, and the girl called each band member individually at their home, and it was a phone interview. And she asked me, you know, what drummers influenced you? And I gave her the list. And then I thought I had to sit down and think, okay, which ones really do I like and have influenced me? Not the usual. Everybody says Neil Peart and I forget another. Led Zeppelin's drummer, John Bonham. Those are always the go-to guys. And they're good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously they're good. I couldn't hold a candle to those guys. But who influenced me?
Mm-hmm.
Don Henley. Now I can't remember the list. It was Don Henley. Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys. And when I said that, she went, Dennis Wilson? She goes, he's not that good of a drummer. I go, no, that's not the point. How good of a drummer he is not what influenced me. It's I watch how much fun he's having on stage behind that kit.
Right.
Yes, he wasn't that technically fantastic of a drummer. He was more of a bash and smash drummer than anything else.
Right.
But he was fun as hell to watch playing. I saw them live several times. He was fun. I met him one time through a fence at up in Canada at the one of the CNE. And it was right after he had released his solo album, and I just got a chance to say hello to him. That I loved his new album. And it had only been out for a week, and he thanked me and talked to me a little bit. And then years later, my sister met him when they came to Buffalo. They were at a bar and the Beach Boys were staying there, and she got to sit and talk with him for a little bit. But so I've been influenced by different drummers, and a lot of them are singing drummers. But yeah, Don Henley is one of my favorites. I love his voice. I love his music. I like his playing style.
Yeah, and that's what I meant. Drummers that sing.
Yeah,
that's kind of the compliment that I was giving you with regard to that.
Well, I appreciate it.
Do you dig Liberty DeVito at all?
Oh yeah, I actually I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Oh, are you really?
I mean, not that means all that much. It's like not like, hey Lib, I'll call you tonight, you know. But he just wrote a book, and I was able to get an autographed copy from him.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm a fan of his. I loved him when he was with Billy Joel.
Yeah.
He and Billy Joel have repaired their relationship.
I love watching a guy play.
Oh yeah. Oh, the old HBO specials, and that was another big influence for me. I'm glad you mentioned him because he was a huge influence for me. Yeah,
that's a big deal. I want to get Vicky more into
and
this
if I could just add, he's a self-taught drummer, which I never knew.
Really?
Because see, I'm a self-taught drummer. And that's been a stigma that I've held over my head for years, that I just didn't feel I had any business being up there. And then I saw Liberty do a clinic, he was just standing and talking to people. And he he said, a lot of people don't know that I'm a self-taught drummer. And the weight that went off of my
can
shoulders when he said, I went, okay, then I'm in good company.
I can
You
imagine.
know, I would have liked to have studied. I have friends who studied and went on to do really big things, but it just wasn't in the cards for me at the time. So
Understood. No, I get it. But no, now Vic, you're the front girl, if that's what you want to call it.
Sure.
You know, what kind of things do you prefer to sing? Do you have favorite songs or favorite artists that you like to cover? I mean, I know you love a Pat Benatar.
I love it. I can, yeah, it's, you know, if anybody in the band came and said, I think we should do a Pat Benatar song. What do you think? It would kind of be a stupid question because I pretty much know everything she's ever done. But I also I really like Pink.
Okay.
I joke with them. I actually said something the one day. I said, I kind of have a thing for short-haired rocker chicks. I wonder where I get that from. Because it's like Pat Benatar, Pink, Annie Lennox.
Yeah.
And I've had a few people that have come up to see the band that say that that's who they think of when they see me on stage. And I was like, well, I'll take like that compliment
All day long.
day of the week. Okay, sure. All right. But I really like I like Annie Lennox, and I'm one of the ones in the band that you know, other than maybe Ed or something, that my musical tastes kind of go all over the place.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge 80s chick. I love like all the 80s rock, 80s pop, anything from that genre. I can totally be like, all right, fine, let's do it. But I also kind of go in a couple different weeds with like Paramore and some of those other newer bands that have come out and have female singers. That
Can you do Annie Lennox?
I do.
Oh, you should
Really?
I'm gonna polish my apple right here in front of everybody
Wow.
and tell you the version that we do of Under Pressure. And I know I'm gonna get attacked for this, but to all the other musicians in town, and I have nothing but respect for so many of them,
yeah,
we do the best version of it. I've heard other bands do versions, they're good,
yes,
but ours is phenomenal, and I'll tell you why. She does the Annie Lennox part. If you've seen the video on YouTube with Annie Lennox singing with David Bowie, and when they sang with Queen, she does Annie Lennox's part, and Ed does the David Bowie part. He sounds like Bowie when he sings it.
Really?
She does it. Please, if you come and see us, is it in our first set or second set? I forget.
I can't remember. It's
Just
second set. Yeah.
Come and see us so you don't miss it. We really pull out all the stops on that tune. And we had somebody come up to us at Rock and Buffalo, said that sounded exactly like the record.
Really?
And I said, thank you. That's because there's some songs we try to put our own spin on it, but that's one of them that we really wanted to sound as much as we could to the original recording. I should say the version that Annie Lennox and David Bowie did.
Right.
And I think we nail it. We really do. If I can be a little self pat on the back.
And as well you should be.
But we worked hard on it, and we do a really, Ed and she do a really nice, I just do a little vocal thing in the back where it comes in. But
that's because you told me you can't sing.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
that's what they gave me.
Right.
They threw me a bone.
But we've done What I Lie to You before. That's
Yep.
something in our wheelhouse, and we just started doing Sweet Dreams because
Really?
Yeah, but we do a live version.
Live
of it.
version
See,
of
what
it.
we do is we don't just go to the original record. Vicky will say, "Oh, I saw this live version of Annie Lennox doing Sweet Dreams," and it's a whole different arrangement. And Annie Lennox and like Bowie and all those, they were known for when they played live, they would do different arrangements of their hits.
Sure.
And that's nice. I like that. Sometimes
So do
you
I.
want to hear the original. You know, Paul McCartney goes out, he does everything just like the record, which is fine.
Right.
But then these other artists, they'll do, like Todd Rundgren is famous for doing completely alien arrangements from what the original record was. And he does really fantastic work. So she says, I saw this live version of Sweet Dreams and we got to do it. And we followed it note for note and measure for measure, and we pull it off.
Red Rain, folks, you got to go see him.
Yeah, we kind of pride ourselves on going in finding a lot of songs that people know but do, like, well, you don't hear a lot of other bands do. And I kind of like having fun sometimes in doing some of the songs that people would not expect, like me or like a girl to sing. We do a Michael Jackson song. We do Smooth Criminal,
Really?
but it's a cover version that a band called Alien Ant Farm does.
Okay.
And I sing the lead on it. And it's actually the lower register part, and the high octave Michael sings. So we kind of like flip flop on it. So I'll sing the lower part and he'll sing the higher part, and we have a ball with it. But like people, when they hear it come out, like they hear it start, they're like, okay, where is this going to go? Because they're like, okay, it's a Michael Jackson song, but this is not the way Michael Jackson plays it, because it's a lot harder. And we just
it's much faster.
And it's much faster.
A lot more guitar work in it and everything.
Well, now there's so many different bands that all play the same stuff over and over again. You know, you can go to different clubs and it'd be a different band, but they'll still be playing the same stuff. And I personally, I got fed up with that years ago. But you guys sound like you do a bigger diversity of things that these other bands, you're not going to hear, and I'm not going to name a band name. I'm not going to insult anybody, but
I would.
No, because what they
friends of ours, and we'd have to walk out on
right. And what they do very well. But
and they're popular songs, and they're songs that people do like to hear, and they like to sing along, and that's great. But we figure like there's a lot of bands that do that, and you're totally going to be able to hear somebody else do that.
Right.
We're just not going to.
But
we're going to do those songs that our reaction that we hope for when we have people come out and see our band is we want to hear somebody out in the audience. And we heard it a few times at the award show. Oh my God, I haven't heard this in so long.
Yeah.
That's when I hear somebody in the audience say that makes me feel good, because they're so happy to hear it, but they don't hear it anymore.
Yeah. We just felt that there's all the bands in Western New York that played like the party rock and the expected hits, they're all great.
Yes.
They're
I agree.
They're great bands, great musicians, friends of ours. Friends or not, they're terrific musicians, and they do those songs great. And the crowds that come to see them prove it. So taking nothing away from them. But when we put the band together, we said, do we really need another band in town?
Exactly.
To play Don't Stop Believin', which is a great song. It's a fantastic song. But do we need another band that plays all the, play I can't even think of the guy's name now, but Bob Seger. You know what? There's enough bands that play that, and they're out there, and we didn't want to step on other toes. We just decided we don't care if we get these gigantic crowds. We're happy to get the crowd we get, and we're finding that there's a lot of people out there, and the proof of the pudding is that a lot of bands have formed since we came on.
Oh, really?
And are doing the same kind of an approach. The stuff, the way we like to say it with our band, it's music that or music from artists but the songs of theirs you don't normally hear.
Right.
Like if I were to say to you, Paul McCartney and Wings, what song? Now watch you blow this because I haven't said you're going to name the song we do. What song would you expect a band to do by them if they did a song by them?
If they did it,
yeah,
Band on the Run.
Okay, we do Jet.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a stretch. It's hard to sing for me, but I do it. If I said Genesis, a song by Genesis, we're going to do a song by them. What song do you think we would do? Would anybody think? You might think. I can't think of the name of the song. Da, 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 da. Copyright. That's all. The song. Yeah. That's all. Something like that. We do Mama.
Oh, I was going to say Turn It On.
Yeah, Turn It On again. It's a long song. It's a heavy song to do. Dark subject matter, but right. It's a lengthy song to do, and the crowd loves it. So we try to give them something different. We open up the night with and I'm giving this all away, but we open up the night. And
that's another good Genesis song.
This was, very, very good. But Vicky came up with the idea of this opening medley, Pat Benatar medley. And then Ed said, let's do this song ahead of it. So we open the night with Hello There by Cheap Trick, which is only a minute and a half long. So it's kind of like it's just a little intro thing.
Yeah.
And then we go into a medley of Heartbreaker, Ring of Fire, and a song that nobody has heard of called Don't Slander Me. And then we go back and do a reprise of Heartbreaker by Pat Benatar.
Nice.
So the whole thing lasts about 8 minutes from start to finish when we open the show to the end of that song. And then I think we go into, we do a song called Ready to Go by a band called Republica.
Yeah.
And I won't give the whole set list away, but we go on from there. But we do Helter Skelter. And again, that's a Pat Benatar cover version of it. She did a cover version of the Beatles' Helter Skelter. And we do, hers is almost identical. It's the same arrangement, but it's different when Vicky sings lead on it. It has a different feel to it. So,
all right. I don't want to leave Vicky out of this. I don't want to sound sexist or anything, but would it be fair to say that you've got an arrow in your quiver with Vicky that nobody else has got?
That's a filthy thing to say. Jeez. Little decorum, people. For God's sakes, please. Arrow in my quiver? Damn right.
I mean, seriously. I mean, that's a bullet that you want in your chamber because, there's nobody else that's got that. Sorry, Vic. I didn't mean to make you blush, but it was... No.
I mean, we know what we have up there.
Yeah,
we're aware of
that.
It.
Is so incredibly
people
cool.
Always say, when they talk to people who do a TV show, they'll say, "Did you know that or I just saw one today where they were talking to, it was an old, or actually a recent interview with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and they were separate because they're not talking to each other. And the interviewer asked David Crosby, this is the 50th anniversary of the Deja Vu album,
right?
And they're coming out with this big, huge $80 box set of it with demos and
because they need more money.
Yeah, alternate versions. And that's one of my favorite albums of theirs, if not the favorite. And they asked David Crosby, he said, did you know that you had the album that you ended up with when you were recording it? And usually people go, no, we didn't have a clue. And Crosby just looked and went, yeah, we knew. We knew it was as good as it was. We know what we have up there.
Yeah.
Ed Badhorn on bass, he's a beast up there on the bass guitar.
Okay.
He really is. I mean, he's good, he's melodic, but boy, can he rock. Robert Rathel is our guitar player, lead guitarist. He is so dynamic and he is so focused on details of playing and solos. We do a medley of help me out, Steppenwolf,
Born to Be Wild.
Born to Be Wild, and then we add at the end of it a Steve Hackett song called Every Day, and it's the second half of that song, and it's all Robert doing a guitar solo basically, and he smokes it, and the crowd goes nuts, and they should, because he just absolutely tears it up. And then Eric Zach on keyboards, he again is very much a perfectionist. He very detailed, wants all the sounds that are supposed to be there, the strings, the vocal thing, or whatever it calls for. He has it at the ready, and he practices these songs at home for hours.
Really?
And comes prepared, and like we all do. So
I don't practice at all. I wing it.
No. I mean, we're not, I'm not trying to say that we're not modest about it. We are, but we know we have a level of talent up there that's worth nurturing.
Yeah.
So
I've not gotten the opportunity to come out and see you guys play because I was planning to do that. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Didn't I say it? I said, where's Pete? We're doing a show Tuesday. Why?
I'm sure that was the first thing out of your mouth the other night.
Yeah.
No, actually, we thought about Ubering it over there, but then we had drop-in company on Friday night, so we couldn't do that. But and that's the God's honest truth. I'm not making that up. But
the people from Hit and Run, right, came over to your house.
They did. How did you know, man?
Because they like.
What do you got me low jacked or
they
something?
They like to party. They're party. They're a party band, you know.
But no, I've seen a bunch of the videos and stuff like that, and yeah, I've asking questions about her voice. I've heard her voice; she is that good. Don't you do a Robert Plant as well?
I've done Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin. That's the song basically that won me.
Yes, that's the song that got her the gig because what we did was when we got down to just like a couple of girls, females, ladies, women, Again,
I like the eye roll, man. That was great.
you gotta. I love it that you have to over-explain a simple word.
Somebody with blue shoes.
She's not a woman. She's a lady, or she's not a girl. She's a woman. She's like, okay. The person who's not a guy. Okay, whatever you want to call it. I know there's probably 20 people like, geez, he's a jerk.
No, because I'm so on board with you, man.
He is. It's like, no, trust me, I'm not a jerk.
No.
I struggle to say the right thing.
You're normal.
I don't want to offend anybody, but you just say, I said, well, I got a shopping bag. Oh, what? A shopping bag? You shouldn't be carrying those anymore. Okay, I'm sorry. But she won the audition with that song, and we gave that song to the two, and without naming the person, she did a fine job in the song before that, but she didn't quite. When Vicky sang that, hands down, everybody just went, oh. The minute she left, because she left the audition, and they came to me and they said, you get a hold of her right away. She's the one. And I was on my way home, and I told her, I said, I'll stop at your place and I'll let you know what's going on. And she goes, what? So what's, I said, I'll tell you when I get there, because I wanted to see the look on her face.
Sure.
But of course I realized by saying that she was going to assume she didn't get
it,
because I also didn't want to tell her over the phone. So I kind of felt bad that I wasn't telling her, you got it. But on the other hand, I wanted to see her reaction. I wanted to tell her to her face. That's just something you should say right to somebody.
I agree.
I hate texting important things.
No, it's horrible.
You got to say them face to face. So I got to her apartment and I told her, I said, congratulations. I said, you're it. You're in. And it took, I swear, I'm not kidding. It took me 10 minutes to get in. And she goes, no, you're lying to me.
You're just saying that to make me feel better.
She thought I was pulling her leg.
Yeah.
And I said, Vicky, I would never lie to you about something like that. I would never give that to you. And then can you imagine? Yeah, Vicky,
I'm just kidding.
You got it. You got the gig. You're it. You're the lead singer of Red Rain. He goes,
really?
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Come on, let's have a cup of coffee and a donut. Come on. I would have been thrown off the balcony.
Yeah.
And I would have deserved it. No, I would never have teased her about that. That was a nervous thing. I remember auditioning for bands all my life, and I'm proud to say I got every gig save one. I don't even remember what band it is, but boy, I really wanted that gig.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. And I felt confident I was going to get it. But I will say the guy did come up to me and he goes, if this guy doesn't work out, can I call you? Because you were our second choice. Yeah. And I kind of felt, well, all right, second step, I'll take that. That's all right.
Cool.
But I've been very fortunate in my life to get, I don't want to say everything I wanted in music, but if I auditioned, I usually got it. And I'm proud of that, because that means I had some level of talent that they felt was valuable, to use me. So,
well, again, I've seen you guys before on YouTube videos and stuff, and it's just, there's a certain degree of magic that just seems to happen when you all get into what it is that you do and the songs. And again, if you Facebook page,
yes.
We have a Facebook page. Yes. Before we go, I have something for you, Pete, and your staff here. I have Red Rain buttons that we give out at our shows.
Why didn't you give that to me before the show,
I want you
man?
to reach in and grab. Now, to make it interesting, I've opened up the clasp on one of them and exposed the pin.
I was waiting to get stabbed, man.
Be careful when you pick. So no, they're all yours. They're all.
Oh, thank you.
They're all yours.
And I'm not even bleeding.
Buttons there, yeah. So enjoy those. And
thank you so very much.
Yay.
That's pretty cool. Red Rain buttons. Who knew? Where's your next gig?
July 2nd at the Transit Music Lounge in.
No.
What?
No.
July
2nd is.
Shut my mouth.
That's okay. You were half
I had
right.
the date right.
July 2nd is the next gig. It is
Attitudes.
at Attitudes up on in Lockport.
Okay.
And then later in the month of July, we're at, I forget the exact date. I think
Transit.
It's the 20-something.
20th.
20-something.
Yep.
20 something. Yeah. I think it's like the second last week of July. We're at the Transit Music Lounge. And then the week after that, we were right back at Attitudes because they wanted us there several times this summer. So
I want to go to Transit Music Lounge.
Mhm.
yeah, we'd love to have you
I'd
there,
love,
man.
I'd love to go there.
Please
because,
do. Yeah,
you know,
it'd be
not
great
only
to see you.
right up the road, but
Trust me, all those people that take videos, phone videos of bands,
Yeah.
God love them. It's great that they do it, but I tell you, the band never sounds as good on those because it's just a little microphone on the camera.
right.
The live performance of any band, as anybody will tell you, of course, is way better. And I think you're gonna be way more impressed even than watching the videos.
I'm gonna check the date because maybe we might want to do a 3 Chords in the Truth live thing from there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
If we could do that.
Yeah. Well, my phone's over there away from the studio, so I will show you the date when we're done. I forget what it is off the top of my head, but
If you go to our Facebook page, though,
yeah, we have a
full
Facebook page
schedule
where we have
up
a full
there.
schedule, a full calendar that I print up and I put on there. It's up to date right now, everything that we have. The one thing we are very, very excited about is we're playing on August 25th. It's a Wednesday at the Gateway Concert Series. The Gateway Concert Series opens in a couple of weeks, I think, and it's every Wednesday until August down at the Gateway
Harbor.
Yeah, Gateway Harbor.
That's also run by Rick Falkowski, right?
Yes, Rick Falkowski and Bob Blazina. And we're on the bill with Hit and Run. We closed the series. We're the last night of the series.
Nice.
And we're going to play with our good friends Carrie and Mark and everybody else, and Tom and the drummer and I can't think of everybody else's name. I'm sorry, guys, I forget your names.
Smack 'em.
Pat Nunzio on keyboards, and yeah, we've never worked with them before, but we got to set up ahead of them, and then we got to get our stuff off stage real fast so they can do their set.
Right.
But we're really looking forward to that, and thank God it's going to happen.
Thank
Yeah,
God everything is
so,
opening up.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
show that we were very fortunate enough to get last year, but of course didn't happen.
Yeah.
'cause
But Facebook.com/Red Rain 2018.
That's
If
our
you just type in Red Rain, you'll get us, but you will also get, I think there's a band in Norway.
Or New Zealand.
They're like
or something.
New Zealand. They're like a heavy metal band
Right.
called Red Rain.
It's not us.
Not to be
Yeah.
confused with you guys.
No, oh God,
No.
and believe me, there's no, because they're like a real pro touring band or whatever. I saw some videos of theirs. They're like a big heavy metal thing. They travel all over the European countries. So.
It's so different in Europe musically. It just blows
Yeah, it
my
is.
mind.
It is. It
I
is.
don't
It's a
get it.
different world there. Yeah.
Well, anyway, yeah, make sure that you check out the Facebook page and subscribe to that. Subscribe to us, 3 Chords and the Truth. This has really been a lot of fun. Again, leave us a comment, subscribe to our page, and believe it or not, this is the first time we've ever met face to face.
Yes.
And that first interview that we did in January was like, we would have thought that we've known each other forever and stuff like that. And unfortunately, we're running out of time because I know Vicky has got some family commitments that she has to get to. But the first one, when Mike told us about how he put a staple in his head, that was
The best.
that was hysterical.
If we ever do this again, remind me to tell that story because it is kind of cute.
I do want to do it again because
Yeah.
I just think you guys are a blast, and I
Good
love
story.
having you on the show. It's a lot of fun.
Well,
And
thanks for having us.
this is the very first show that we've done that has been spoken through the whole thing without a video.
Wow.
Wow.
Cool.
And because
Right.
I just knew that, and the reason I didn't ask you for
Sorry,
one,
folks, or there wasn't a video to break up my
no.
monotony here.
No, I just thought that, you guys are so cool and fun to be around and stuff like that. I didn't want to interrupt things with a video.
Yeah,
And that's why I want you to, again, if you got a YouTube page, a Red Rain YouTube page, or is it
we don't, and the reason we don't is because YouTube is famous for their copyright strikes. You post you doing a cover of a song and it gets taken down, and I used to do that with Rock and Review. I used to post videos of us playing, and I posted a video of us playing Supertramp's Logical Song.
Yeah.
And Supertramp, the band themselves, Rick Davies, actually personally requested it to be removed.
Oh, I remember you saying
Yeah.
that from the last one.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so we
So
got a
that's why we've been
copyright strike,
afraid.
and I was like, okay. But
I personally have got 97 songs on my YouTube page that are covers, and I've never been. But
yeah, I don't know how that works.
it was just me and a guitar in a studio. It wasn't like I was live on a stage. So I think if they think that you're making money from it, they want a
Yeah.
piece of it.
yeah.
That could be.
So that might be what it was, because you were the first time I got bitch slapped. When I did the video of
Really?
you guys
you
played with
told me, yeah.
under pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, you played some audio.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And but we're not making money unless you want us to make money.
Yeah.
Let us know. We'll gladly take
We'll
it.
take it.
Monetize this. Monetize this.
Anyway, unless you guys got something else to say, like I said, I know Vicky's got some family things that she's got to do.
Well, I'd like to say that the prices of food is now skyrocketing to unprecedented. I, for one, am stopping buying tomatoes because the price of salad. Have you seen the price of salad, Pete?
3 chords in the truth.
It's crazy.
Michael Trig Lehman,
It's nuts.
Vicky DeVoe from Red Rain. Check them out. Go see them. And
Used to be $1.19.
Oh my God.
$1.99
I'll
for a
get you
bag
some
of
salad, okay?
I got you my tablets. Anyway, come back and see us next week. Thanks to these guys. This has been so much fun. And again, 3 chords in the truth. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed what we did tonight, and see you next week.
Bye.